What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx, and today I'm going to be reacting to 2 true scary Instagram horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Now, these are apparently real, and so of all the other ones I've reacted to from Mr. Nightmare, supposedly they're all real, and I didn't even realize that until not that long ago. Like, I reacted to a bunch of them, and I never really paid full attention to the title where it says that they're real. So, anyway, hopefully this is going to be quite spooky. The original link's in the description. Make sure you go subscribe to Mr. Nightmare. Without any further ado, let's begin. Wait, why does this say 3 true Instagram horror stories, but in the actual title it says 2? What? But then it says story 1, story 2, so where's story 3? Is that a typo?
I have an Instagram account with 1,100 followers.
No need
to public.
No need to brag.
So anybody could come onto my page and look at my pictures, like them, and comment on them. So oftentimes I'd get people I didn't know liking my pictures and commenting on them. But one person stood out from the rest. I remember his first comment on one of my photos. It was a beach picture with one of my friends. So
is this story from a girl's perspective or a guy's? Because it's kind of weird with the guy narrating it, right?
I was wearing a swimsuit. I had like 11 comments on it, but one of them was from somebody I didn't know. It was 3 flame emojis. I clicked the man's profile. He had 3 pictures, 80 followers, and he was following over 200 people, including me. All 3 of his pictures were of him, selfies, which didn't look right given that he looked like he was 40 or 50. I didn't mind though, it's expected to happen to a certain extent. However, after that photo, it started becoming a thing where the man would just comment on every new photo I posted. One comment just said hot. This one was a little creepier, honestly. But then 2 days later, after posting my next picture, the man didn't comment this time. Instead, he sent me a direct message. It said, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you that you're beautiful, even though I'm like 30 years older than you, LOL." I responded, "LOL, thanks."
I mean, you don't have to respond, definitely if it's something kind of creepy. And also, if you don't want people, like, randomly messaging you, can't you just block them?
Which I'm surprised I did. Most people would have probably ignored it. He got back to me with, "I would kill to meet a girl like you." I replied 10 minutes later with thanks, hoping he wouldn't say anything else. But he got back to me with, "Maybe one day I'll meet you, ... LOL. I didn't reply to that one. I found everything about the guy creepy, but I didn't block him. I figured, why get rid of a free follow and likes?
So you're risking possibly getting over a couple likes? Really? Really? Are we that shallow?
I hadn't heard from him until I posted a new photo. This one of my sister Carol and I in front of our house.
Oh, there's your mistake. I mean, now that you posted your house, he could probably find you or something, so you done messed up.
Man commented quickly on the photo, saying, "You and your sister are so cute." Now it was becoming too much for me, so I removed the comment and blocked him. Later in the day, Carol and I were home alone. I was in the bathroom doing my nails, getting ready to go out. I noticed a car I didn't recognize pull up in front of the house.
What did I say? What did I say? You done messed up. That crazy person is outside your house now.
Through the window. But only the front. The rest of the car was covered by the bush that separates our front yard from the neighbors. The headlight shut off, but I didn't see anyone step out of the car. I took note of this only because we're on a dead-end block, so we don't get any through traffic. I shut the blind just because I was on full display. My sister was in her room on her laptop when the time came for me to leave. I didn't bother saying
leave? Where's she going?
Goodbye. Usually we just text each other that we're going out anyway. I went to my car, looking at the mysterious car, which revealed to be a Maxima. The tinted windows mixed with the darkness of the night made it impossible to see inside of it. I got in my car, did a 3-point turn, and drove down the one-sided street to the nearest main road. I went to a social gathering at a friend's house. I wouldn't call it a party, but a decent amount of drinking went on.
It's a party.
I cut myself off a little early since I knew I had to drive. But still, I'll admit, and I don't condone this kind of behavior whatsoever, I was pretty tipsy when I was driving home.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I mean, Uber exists. Well, I think with the amount of horrible crap that happens with Ubers, I think Lyft might be a better option.
Sir, is that—
Get out of my car now! You should have used your brain more.
It was only a 5-minute drive though. I pulled up to my house, and the first thing I noticed was the Maxima still parked out front.
What did I say?
I needed to know whose car was that. I passed it slowly, but still couldn't see inside of it. I parked and texted a few friends that I got home safe before stepping outside and walking up to my house.
You should have also texted them that there's a creepy car outside of your house, and you should also text them the license plate of that car. That way, in case anything happens to you, they will most likely have the suspect from the car and the license plate number.
I was eyeing that car parked out front all the way up to the front door, where I dropped my keys. At which point, for whatever reason, I was too scared to bend over and look for them. Instead, I rang the doorbell like 5 times so my sister would answer quickly.
What? Why would you be too scared to bend over? I mean, it's not as if you're in prison. It's kind of a messed up joke.
She never answered the door though.
Uh-oh.
So I was forced to get on my knees and look for the keys. They actually landed right on the doormat. I opened the door and went inside pretty swiftly, taking one last look at the Maxima before shutting the door. It was past midnight, but my sister was usually still up this late, so I dizzily but quietly walked up the stairs and down the hall towards her door. And oddly enough, it was wide open, but the lights were out. Maybe she went out for once.
Oh, is that guy in your house now?
I crept into the room, and my heart skipped a beat as my mind tried to put together the faint noise I was hearing. It took me a while to realize it was a whisper. The whisper of my sister. It was coming from the closet. The closet was cracked open, and I saw my sister peeping her eyes through the crack. She was visibly shaken and appeared to be crying. I knelt down next to her and opened the closet all the way, whispering, "What's going on?" She didn't say anything though. She just kept putting her finger on her lips, telling me to be quiet. I tugged at her arm to pull her out of the closet, and when she was out, I pushed the closet shut quietly. This revealed my sister's room again, as well as somebody clear as day standing direct center in my sister's room. I don't know if you—
Wait, what? I'm confused now. So, you went into your sister's room and there was no one there, and you heard your sister whispering from the closet, so you went and you pulled your sister out, and you closed the closet, and then there was the guy standing in the middle of your room? Is that what happened? Because that doesn't make much sense.
he was facing us or not, but that didn't matter because we both wailed as we ran together. I felt the vibrations of the man stomping close behind us. We went straight for the car. I was able to lock the doors without even a second to spare before the man chasing us tried the door handle. When he realized it was locked, he started bashing at the window with his shoulder, all while my sister was screaming and wailing, making the matter worse. Through the intensity of the situation, I still was able to make the connection. It was the same man who had been stalking me on Instagram.
No kidding. No kidding. I think we all knew this, okay? I think we all knew this.
I had to do a 3-point turn, but all the while I was honking the horn to get as much attention as possible from the neighbors. I think it worked because he got into his car, which turned out to be the Maxima, and did a 3-point turn as well. At first we thought he was tailing us, but instead he booked it past us and down another street to never be seen again. At that point we just turned around and went back to the house. I called our parents and then the police. The police were able to find out how the man broke in, through an upstairs window. He climbed up a ladder onto the awning and boosted himself up to the windowsill. I told the
Man.
police about how he was stalking me on Instagram and must have somehow found my address when I posted my most recent picture with my sister, which included my house number. I tried to help them by giving the man's Instagram account, but when I went to the blocked accounts section, it was empty. That meant that the man already deleted his Instagram.
Wait a minute, so is this the account right here? This can't be the account, because they have the picture and it's blurred, so obviously they would have the picture of the actual guy, so this can't be the account.
Therefore, even if there is a way for Instagram to track deleted users, it didn't matter, because I didn't remember the man's username.
Oh.
So I hate to say it, but there was nothing the police could do, and I knew it. I've since set my Instagram to private and really only accept follow requests from people I know now. I'm also a lot more paranoid and wary of posting revealing photos.
Yeah, with online, you gotta be really careful what you say and do, because crazy people are out there. And, that was a great example of one. And also, she could have easily, you know, found out who the person was if she frickin' looked at the license plate of the car. Because that tells you who owns it, right? Well, I mean, you tell the cops and they can find out. So I mean, you had many chances to look at it. And at the end of it, the guy drove by you, so you could have looked at the license plate then. So you could have easily found out. You just weren't thinking properly, I guess. All right, one more. What's going on?
I came across something recently that has been freaking me the hell out. Before I get into my discovery, let me just get into a little backstory that makes the discovery even more disturbing. For the past few weeks or so, on several occasions, while either trying to sleep in my bed or doing something in my room with a light on at night, I would hear a single, faint yet audible tap on my window. I hardly want to call it a tap,
Oh, that's freaky.
because none of the sounds really resembled an intentional tap. It sounded more so like something accidentally being scraped or pressed against the glass very briefly. At first I thought it was just bugs flying into the window, but as the same sound kept happening at least 2 or 3 times a week, I started to get freaked out by it.
Does that mean someone's like spying on you from the outside?
So I told my dad, and he of course told me it's nothing, probably just bugs like I initially thought. So nothing happened for a few nights. But then, I got a text from a friend. Well, not a friend, just some guy I used to have a class with who somehow coerced me into giving him my number. He said,
Oh, sneaky.
"Hey, I don't know if you remember me. We used to have a class together. I just wanted to let you know about this. I stumbled upon it by accident. And if you're unaware of it, that's pretty disturbing." Then he added a link to the bottom of the message. I pressed it, and it took me to an Instagram page. The page was titled JP Unofficial. Those were my initials, but that wasn't the first thing I noticed. The first thing I noticed was the profile picture, which was me. And then, the 45 pictures uploaded to that account were all of me. They weren't like pictures that I took though, they were all candid. I mean, like, they were pictures I never even knew were taken. Some were of me at the beach, some were of me sitting in my car, but the newer ones got even weirder.
Let me guess. They were from outside of your window.
Some were of me in my backyard, and then the worst ones were the most recent. There were pictures of me in my room, taken from outside my window.
I called it.
Some of me sitting on my bed doing homework or texting, others of me standing, with one even of me in my underwear. I felt sick. I felt like crying and throwing up. All of the pictures had at least 2 or 3 likes. Some had comments, but not comments pointing out how wrong this is. They were comments encouraging it, saying things like, "Go for it," or "hot," or "what I'd do if I could get my hands on her." The cat.
Man, people are really weird. This is why you need home security, whether it be, you know, a shoddy, basically anything in your house. That way, if someone breaks in, you know, you give them the old 1-2. And yeah, they're not coming back. So yeah, especially when you got people doing this weird kind of stuff.
Captions on the photos too. They were all things like, the love of my life, or she went to the beach today, or I just like to watch her. My mouth was twitching as a tear rolled down my face. I was so disturbed, I can't even describe the emotions I was feeling.
Do you not have curtains? I mean, that might help with the spying in your window situation. You get some curtains. You get some ones that are like opaque, so people can't see through it, and that will stop this problem.
And then, there was a sound again at the window. The sound. The unintentional scrape or tap. And then it clicked. It made sense now. When I put two and two together, I simply snapped. I lost it and screamed louder than I'd ever screamed before. My dad came rushing in with open arms to hug me and ask what's wrong. I showed him the Instagram page and explained the taps at the window.
You should probably take off after him, definitely when your dad came in, because he could probably take on some other guy. You should have opened the window and gone after him.
Well, explained is a stretch. I was a mess and could barely speak clearly. My dad's expression went from gentle to horrified to downright angry. He rushed outside screaming, making a scene for the neighbors, looking for the stalker. He then came inside and called the police. I gave the police the Instagram account and requested they track it as soon as possible. Law enforcement put the request into Instagram. By the time it was received, the account was deleted, but it didn't matter because Instagram was still able to recover the info, and the usage was traced to an old iPod Touch. Unfortunately, the device was untraceable. It was either destroyed or it had its Wi-Fi turned off permanently. My dad saw how messed up I was, and he plans on moving us out of the house within the month. Luckily, there haven't been any new sounds, but I've also made sure to keep all my blinds shut 24/7, and always make sure I'm not being tailed while driving.
So she did have blinds. She did have blinds. Anyway, guys, I hope you like this video. This is pretty freaky. I think the second one was probably freakier. I don't know, actually. I mean, they're both freaky and horrible situations to be in. And that's why you need home protection, that in case something like this happens, you know you're most likely going to be fine. Anyway, with that being said, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend if you're new, and subscribe to join the family today. Also, make sure you go subscribe to Mr. Nightmare, that link's in the description. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Boop!